Well, starting this evening with the hockey. Good evening, Sam. Looking rather tired. You've had a bit of a torrid time of late, have you, getting back from the UK?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a long trip, round trip back to Ireland, back to the Isle of Man again.
Cancelled flights leaves you stranded, doesn't it? But there's a full programme of hockey fixtures tomorrow, but you've got some news regarding this evening's Bridgewater's mixed plate game, which was going to involve Vikings, Colts and Bacchus B.
Yeah, that's unfortunately been awarded to Bacchus B. Vikings Colts weren't able to find a goalkeeper in time, which is really unfortunate because that would have been a really good test for Vikings Colts, unfortunately. But yeah, Bacchus B are through to the next round.
You'd have expected Bacchus B to win that one anyway, though, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have expected them to beat them, and fairly comfortably as well, but you always want to test yourself against the best possible opposition, and Vikings Colts would have been well up for that.
Now, we'll cover in more detail Saturday's matches tomorrow, but there are two big hockey matches featuring Manx clubs against English opposition on Sunday, aren't there?
There are, yeah. We'll start with the EHA Ladies Championships Tier 2. Vikings Ladies are playing Lim in round 3. There's a couple of key players that aren't able to make the trip tomorrow, with Danny Coombs and Laura Atkinson unable to make it. But when you've got the likes of Mia Greenwood and Kirsty McCarry stepping in, their loss isn't quite so sorely felt.
How big of a loss will they be, though? Because they have the experience. You can bring some good players back in, but sometimes it's that match experience that makes all the difference.
Yeah, I mean, Danny and Laura have been around that sort of environment, top teams for quite a while, but Mia's been playing in the UK while she's been at university. She's gained a wealth of experience. Kirsty McCarry has recently returned as well, and she's proven herself in the Manx Leagues this year as well. So I think, although it's going to be two big losses, there's two big pluses coming into the side as well.
And you never know, if they perform well, they could keep either Danny or Laura out the team in the long run. They'll have to play quite well, mind. They won 4-0 in the previous round, Vikings. They've got to have some confidence going into this game.
They will do, but Lim are the league above the previous round opposition, and it's going to be a close game. The last game was 4-0 win to Vikings Ladies, and it's going to be close, but I think Vikings Ladies can do this. I really expect them to come away with a win here. They do have to travel, but yeah, I think on merit they should go through. They should win that game.
And we all know how good Kim Carney is, how good Zoe Crow is. Jen Turner as well, another player in that squad who's got a wealth of experience and very, very talented hockey player. But where else is this match going to be won in terms of on paper? When you look at the squad, which players stand out for you?
If you look at the likes of Georgia Foxton, she's just come into the Vikings side and has improved a side that was already very, very good. You've got Charlotte Casement as well, who's another young girl coming through the ranks in the Vikings ladies teams. Chelsea Borden as well. She's been playing in Mixed B alongside Charlotte this year and have been impressing. So there's three young players straight off that are going to improve the side. But you've got the experience of the likes of Katie Eric, Kirsty Cooper, Kirsty Bowley, Sarah Blackman as well, and then you've got Sammy Verrill in goals. It's a very, very strong side, one of the strongest I've seen from Vikings ladies.
I'd just like to give a special mention as well to Georgia Foxton. The game between Vikings A and Harlequins A recently, she was taken out by her own father. Can you believe that? Some say it was a dive, I'm not sure. But that game involving Vikings ladies takes place at Lim High School in Warrington. Pushback will be 1:30 on Sunday. Bacchus men's, though, they're in action in the third round of the England Hockey Men's Trophy against Keswick, and it's another home tie for them.
Yeah, they've been really lucky with their two home ties on the bounce. They haven't played Keswick before, but Keswick are in the league below their previous opposition, Alderley Edge. So I think this one should really be, that's really in Bacchus' favour. Pushback is at 1:15 p.m. at the NSC on Sunday, and the last game we had a really big crowd turnout from people from all clubs, down to support a Manx hockey team and see a Manx hockey team do well. So it was really good to see. There's no real surprises in the side, but you've got Josh Reardon, who's come into the side again. Played in the last round against Alderley Edge and impressed Jamie enough for him to be picked again.
Yeah, again, a similar question to what I asked you about the Vikings ladies team. When you look at the squad for Bacchus, the younger players coming through, they've got really bright futures. And we've said George Harrison, we've mentioned him on the programme before. Josh Reardon, you've just said. What's his season been like for those keen hockey fans who are listening? What's he bringing to the table for Bacchus?
He's like a Duracell bunny. He just does not stop. He will chase a man from one end of the pitch to the other. He performs the job of two men on the pitch in terms of the amount of running he does. He just doesn't stop, and it's really good to see. I mean, technically he may not be as good as the likes of Andy Whiting, for instance, but he is a very, very, very busy player. He will get into the face of the man on the ball very quickly and put them under pressure, and that's his key strength. So I think that's what he'll bring to the game. He'll put the opposition under pressure very quickly.
And that game involving Bacchus and Keswick takes place at the NSC on Sunday. Pushback is 1:15. So if you've got a free afternoon, if you are a Manx hockey player, then do go along and support Bacchus. They're taking on Keswick at the NSC at 1:15. Before you leave us, Sam, and get some much needed sleep and recover with a nice Chinese, I think you're doing this evening. It's worth throwing forward. We'll cover it in more detail tomorrow on Saturday's Sport, but there's some massive games in PWC Mixed Division 2 tomorrow. Two teams vying for the title, two teams battling the drop. Let's start with Viking C because they do lead the way, only on goal difference. They're at home to Ramsey Rookies. Are you expecting them to get the job done?
I would expect them to get the job done, and I'd expect them to go out there and go for goals. I'd expect them to be putting 8 or 9 past Ramsey Rookies, or at least trying to. And if they do that, they should secure the title. Ramsey Ravens are 4 goals behind on goal difference, and they're going to struggle to score that number of goals past Bacchus Colts.
As I say, we will go into this in more detail tomorrow, but just a final thought from you. Who do you think is going to go up from PWC Mixed Division 2, and who do you think's going to be relegated?
I think Viking C are probably going to go up there in the driving seat, and it's going to be close, but I think Valkyries D could possibly turn their C team over tomorrow, so I think Rookies are going to struggle to stay up.
Sam Spooner, thanks very much for joining us this evening. You can keep up to date with all the scores in Saturday Live, and Ed Oldham will be bringing you Saturday classified results from 5 o'clock tomorrow evening.